we had planned a camping trip to Pog Lake in Algonquin to celebrate the summer solstice and Amir's second Earth Strong, but the weather was not vibing, and the Lord just was saying to go back to Yaad and enjoy and then celebrate at home. And that is what we did. We enjoyed some strawberry simple syrup with some jerk chicken sandwiches on some cocoa bread. Make some strawberry simple syrup with me. And y'all, what I did with this is I cut the tops off my berries and used them as well. And any of the berries that were like mushy or like not ripe yet, I also put in the pot to boil down and made a simple syrup. I'm going to use this to sweeten drinks, maybe some desserts, and maybe a little cocktail, who knows? Anyways, strawberry simple syrup, a nice little treat, hydration in this summer season. Come along, let me show you the steps that I took, and let me know in the comments below if you're gonna try it out. I need one. He wants it in my cup. I made one for you too. I made one for you too. It's the same. Anyways, y'all, strawberry simple syrup. Discard the tops. Whatever berries that are mushy, old, or not ripe yet, throw in the pot too. Simmer it down. I also added fever grass into this for our Canadian friends. That is lemongrass, and it is just divine. So y'all, if you get strawberries fresh and some are just unripe or they're too ripe and they're just yucky or not sweet enough, these are the perfect ones to add to a pot of water and simmer down. I added some fever grass in for an extra kick, and I just let this boil and steep for, I don't know, maybe an hour. This is the herb corner. This is where I dry all of our herbs, and we made this with materials from the Reuse It Center, thanks to my amazing, gifted, talented husband. And then this is the syrup. It has been simmering for a while now, so I'm just adding in 1 ratio of sugar and 1 ratio of water. So there's about a cup of water, and then we are going to be doing a cup of sugar. If you want this thicker, you can increase the sugar ratio, but and then there's Amir playing, and pour it in any bottles that you want to save it in. And this should last for up to 1 to 2 weeks, just keeping an eye on it that it looks okay before consuming. All right, y'all, we're gonna make some cocoa bread. This is a great item to bring along with you outdoors, outside. If you're going to any cookouts or circles, bring some along. All you need is 250 milliliters of coconut milk, 20 grams of brown sugar, 7 grams of instant yeast, and I do weigh it out, but if you don't have a scale, you can use a measuring spoon. I think it's roughly 2 teaspoons of yeast. And then since my husband is lactose intolerant, we're doing oil instead of butter, and we're doing 30 grams. You could use butter if you don't have a lactose or dairy issue. I highly recommend butter, would be much better. And then you're also going to add in 1 egg, and then your flour and salt. So I just do a pinch of salt and 500 grams of flour. That is roughly 4 cups of flour. And then you're going to let that sit for an hour and then cut it up into pieces. This part here is how I like to roll them out in halves and then cut them semi-equal. And once this part is finished, you're going to roll it out into a circle. My friend Kushbu would always we would always laugh about this part because it can be challenging for some that aren't used to doing it. Like, you end up making maps instead of circles, and that's okay too. It's still going to turn out just as good. But roll it out as best as you can. And then we're going to fold them in half and rest them on a sheet for another 20 minutes. And then pop them in the oven at 350 degrees and brush them with some oil or butter. Okay guys, so this is just a small garden update in this video. We have our dill and our motherwort is coming in very nice. Her little flowers, and our bergamot is still not blooming, but we do have some yarrow buds coming in, and our echinacea is coming in beautifully. It has been a very, very rainy time, but we're giving thanks because we know that nourishes the land. We had a lot of tobacco spring up, so I've just planted them off to the side, and we have our calendula and our garlic scapes that we love to add into any of our dishes, just like an extra seasoning. It is something that I want to actually make like a green seasoning and freeze in the freezer. I will share that with you in the upcoming videos. It is a great addition to have to add into most of your meals.
Alright guys, so we've made it here at camp. We're at Pog Lake, and we turned off where it says Pog Lake and Whitefish Lake. We got our map. This is the map, and our campsite is 450. It's somewhat near the water, so I'm hoping we get a little like water access. We also got bike rentals, or these are canoes for a kayak, canoe, all of that. And we also got the information on the back of this, the back of the flyer shares all along the highway what there is and what you can find. Alright, we're gonna go get a camp set up and we'll touch back in.
Okay, so this was our campsite 450. It was in a roundabout circle area, and we were on the water, but it was more of a marshy kind of water, but it was more secluded. And this is us setting up all of our stuff. It is a beautiful sight. These tall, beautiful trees and just being out in nature is something that we deeply love. And this is us trying to figure out dinner. Hubby's hat that I just crocheted him.
So we're here at camp at Pog Lake. We're set up. We didn't have any tent pegs, but we figured it out. And this is the setup.
Alright, so this is the moment we decided that we weren't going to complete this trip. It was off and on rain and lots of mosquitoes, and we could just tell the vibe was not going to be there. So we didn't want to force it. We ended up packing up our things and we hit the road back home. It was about a 2-hour trip, so it was a lot of driving. It was very tiring, but we are giving thanks that we decided to call it, because having a 2-year-old in the weather like that is not something we wanted to push through, and then also just feel grumpy, miserable, and cold, damp, and just not the vibe. So we did not push through this one. We went back home and gave thanks to reach back home and be in our comfort and to spend our time there with each other. We ended up just going on a bike ride and jerking some chicken in the backyard, which I haven't really showed you this setup. So this is our setup at our apartment. We don't have grass, it's gravel, and we don't mind. It still allows us to get outside and have a piece of nature to ourselves. There is trees that surround us, and we have great neighbors. So it really does make for a comforting area for an apartment style living. This might not be a campsite, and it might not be how we wanted to celebrate the solstice in Amir's second Earth Strong, but we still made it happen. Hubby still made it happen. He still got out there and jerked up some chicken, and we had a great time outside. We spent the whole evening outside. This is our compost bin that the neighbor made. It is such a great technique. It is a barrel that has a door to it that you drop your compost in and your organic matter and all of your dry materials, the greens and browns, and you just spin it to get that circulation. You just have to spin it. And then this is the browns that we've put in with our fresh produce and our teeny tiny garden box. And all of these seeds there were gifted to us by someone local. And that is what this is all about, is connecting and growing our roots in community with people that also have the same outlook and vision and morals. This is our cocoa bread jerk chicken sandwich that was too tasty. And guys, this cocoa bread is too easy to make, so let me know in the comments if you're going to try it out. Our strawberry simple syrup cocktail, and Amir's counting game that he got gifted from Grammy. Such a thoughtful gift, and he loves it. I actually love playing this with him. It is encouraging us to, you know, get him to be more familiar with his numbers. This one's for you, Amir. More blessings upon you and more protection. And thank you guys for being here and watching this round. Stay tuned for the next video, as we will be talking about some herbal medicine.